The death of Victor Dean, a young advertising copywriter, have led him to suspect a connection between Dean's death and the smuggling of drugs to London high society. While Chief Inspector Parker is checking on possible routes by which the drugs are entering the country, Lord Peter Wimsey, pretending to be Mr. Breeden, concentrates his attentions on the smart set. His suspicions begin to centre on a certain Diane de Montgomery and her unsavoury friend, Major Todd Milligan.
Ever see anything of that Dean girl nowadays, Diane?
Victor's sister? No, darling.
Well, I wish you would.
Why, Todd? She's one of nature's worst bores, darling.
I want to know if she knows anything about that place where Dean used to work.
The advertising place? But, Todd, how too yawn-making. Why do you want to know about advertising?
Oh, never mind. I was onto something rather useful there, that's all.
Oh? I'll give her a ring if you like, but she's about as wet as a drowned eel, darling. What do you want to know?
That's my business. Get me another whiskey and soda.
Todd? I've often wanted to ask you, why did you say I'd got to chuck Victor? Not that I cared about him, the poor fish. But I just wondered. Especially after you told me to string him along.
Because the young whatnot was trying to double-cross me. Thanks. He was getting to be a nuisance. Somebody had been talking to him. Probably you. Me? That's good. There wasn't anything I could tell him. You never tell me anything, Todd. No, I've got some sense left. Oh, how rude you are, darling. Well, you see, I couldn't have split to Victor. Did you bump Victor off, Todd? Who says he was bumped off? A little bird told me. Is that your friend in the harlequin mask? Well... Who is that fellow, Diane? Haven't the foggiest. What's he want? He doesn't want me, at any rate. Isn't that humiliating, Todd? It must be. I think he's on Victor's lay. He said he wouldn't be here if Victor hadn't popped off. Too thrilling, don't you think? I think I'd like to meet this friend of yours. When's he likely to turn up? Damned if I know. He just arrives. I don't think I'd have anything to do with him, Todd, if I were you. He's dangerous. Queer, somehow. Got a hunch about him. Well, your brain's going to mush, sweetest. And he's trading on it, that's all. At least he amuses me and you don't anymore, Todd. I think I'll give up dope. I'm getting puffy under the eyes. Do you think it would be amusing to go all good? About as amusing as a Quaker meeting. Has your friend been trying to reform you? That's damned good. Reform me nothing. But I'm looking horribly hag-like tonight. Oh, hell, what's the odds? Let's do something. All right. Come on round to Slinker Braithwaite. He's throwing a party. I'm sick of Slinker's parties. I say, Todd, let's go and gate crash something really virtuous. Who's the stickiest old cat in London that's got anything on? Oh, I don't know. Tell you what, we'll scoop up Slinker's party and go round and look for striped awnings and crash the first thing we see. Righto, I'm on. Well, Diane, we're in, anyhow. We've hit the bull, all right. The Duchess of Denver's place. She's heaven's prize frozen face.
Good evening. Miss de Montgomery, I think.
Harlequin.
I beg your pardon?
Harlequin. I recognize your voice. Todd is Harlequin.
Ah, the mysterious stranger. I think it's time you and I had a word, young man. May I ask why you have been tagging round after this lady in a mountebank get-up?
I fear that you are labouring under a misapprehension, sir, whoever you are. I have been dispatched by the Duchess on a somewhat distasteful errand. She regrets that she has not the honour of this lady's acquaintance, nor, sir, of yours, and wishes me to ask by whose invitation you are here.
You do it marvellously, darling. We gate-crashed on the dear old bird. Same as you did, I expect.
So the Duchess inferred. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid I must ask you to leave at once.
Oh, that's pretty good. I'm afraid it won't work. It may be a fact that we weren't invited here, but we aren't going to turn out for a nameless acrobat who's afraid to show his face.
No, I think you must be mistaking me for a friend of yours. Huh? My name is Peter Wimsey. I am Denver's brother.
But aren't you my Harlequin? Don't be such an ass. I know you are. I know that voice, and the mouth and chin.
You know, this is very interesting. Is it possible that... I fear it is. I think you must have encountered my unfortunate cousin, Breeden.
That was the name?
Ah, I'm glad to hear it. Sometimes he gives mine, which makes it deuced awkward.
See here, Diane, you seem to have dropped a brick. You'd better apologise and then we'll clear. Look, I'm sorry we crashed in and all that.
Look, one moment. I should like to hear more about this. Be good enough to come into the house for a moment, would you? What will you drink?
Whiskies.
Yes, I might have noticed. The abominable practice of putting whiskey on top of mixed drinks late at night is responsible for more ruined complexions and reputations than any other single cause. There is many a woman now walking the streets of London through putting whiskey on top of gin cocktails. Here are, Tomlin, 2 stiff whiskies and a liqueur brandy, please.
Very good, my lord.
You perceive the true object of this hospitable gesture. I have established my identity by the evidence of the reliable Tomlin. Let us now seek a spot less open to interruption. I suggest the library. The Duke of Denver, being an English gentleman, possesses a library in all his houses, though he never opens a book. This is called fidelity to ancient tradition. The chairs, however, are comfortable. Pray be seated. And now, tell me all about your encounter with my scandalous cousin.
Now, one moment. I think I know Debrett pretty well. I was not aware that you had a cousin called Breeden.
It is not every puppy that appears in the kennel book. Please help yourself to smokes. You'll find the cigars passable, Mr.
Milligan. Todd Milligan.
Ah, the well-known Major Milligan. You have a residence on the river, I fancy. Charming, charming. His fame has reached me from time to time through my good brother-in-law, Chief Inspector Parker of Scotland Yard. A beautiful retired spot, I believe.
Just so. Mm-hmm. I had the pleasure of entertaining your cousin there one night.
Did he gate crash you?
Well,
yes, that's exactly what he would do. Major Milligan, painful though it may be to me, I feel that I ought to warn you against that cousin of mine. He's definitely not nice to know. If he's been thrusting his attentions upon Mr. Mommery, it is probably with some ulterior object. Not that any man would need an ulterior object for such attentions. Mr. Mommery is an object in herself.
Oh.
Of course, you know the police are interested in my cousin Breeden.
How thrilling.
What for?
For impersonating me, amongst other things. I cannot tell you in the brief time at our disposal the distress and humiliation I have been put to on Breeden's account. Bailing him out of police stations, honouring cheques drawn in my name, rescuing him from haunts of infamy. I'm telling you all these distressing details in confidence, of course.
We won't split.
He trades upon our unfortunate resemblance. He copies my habits, smokes my favourite brand of cigarettes, drives a car like mine.
Must be pretty well off to drive a car like that.
That is the most melancholy thing of all. But perhaps I had better not say anything about that.
Oh, do tell. Sounds too terribly breathtaking.
I suspect him of having to do with drug smuggling. I mean, dash it all, drug smuggling.
You don't say so.
Well, I can't prove it, but I have received warnings from a certain quarter, if you understand me. I don't want to interfere in your affairs in any way, Major Milligan. I trust that I shall never be called upon to do so, but you will perhaps allow me to give you and this lady a word of warning. Do not have too much to do with my cousin Breeden.
Yes, well, I'm much obliged to you for the warning, and so I'm sure is Mr. Mommery.
Of course, I'm frightfully glad to know all about it. Your cousin sounds a perfect pet. I like him dangerous. Pompous people are too terribly moribund, aren't they?
My dear lady, your choice of friends is entirely at your discretion.
I'm glad to hear it. I got the impression that the Duchess wasn't too fearfully anxious to have both arms round my neck.
Ah, the Duchess, no. There, I fear, all the discretion is on the other side, what? Which reminds me...
Yes, quite right. We've trespassed on your hospitality too long. We must really apologize and remove ourselves. Oh, by the way, there are some other members of our party.
I expect the Duchess will have dealt with them by now. If not, I'll make a point of seeing them and telling them that you've gone on.
You'd better come round and have a drink, too.
Alas, duty and all that sort of thing, don't you know? Can't leave my sister-in-law in the lurch, greatly as I should enjoy the entertainment. So, if you would excuse me now, I must see to our other guests. I was fetching an ice from Madame de Framboise Douillet.
Yes, of course.
Goodbye.
I wonder, was the fly too big and gaudy? Will he rise to it? We shall see. Ah, Willis. Hope I'm not disturbing you.
No. Come in, Breeden.
See here, Willis. I rather want your advice. Well, I know we don't seem to have hit it off very well, but since we both have to work in this place...
It's my fault, Breeden. I fancy I owe you some sort of apology. I appear to have been mistaken.
What exactly did you have against me? I never could make out what it was, to tell you the truth.
I thought you belonged to Victor Dean's beastly doping and drinking crowd. And I thought that you were trying to get Miss Dean, in among them again. She tells me that that is not the case. But, oh, well.
What is the matter?
I'll tell you what's the matter. You went and forced yourself on Miss Dean. God knows what you told her, and she won't tell me. You made out you were a friend of her brother's or something. Was that true to start with?
Well, not quite as you put it. I made Miss Dean's acquaintance over a matter connected with her brother, but I'd never met him, and she knows that.
Well, what had it got to do with him, then?
I'm afraid I can't tell you that.
You might be a dope merchant yourself.
Well, I hadn't thought of that. But if I were, I doubt if I should need Miss Dean's introduction to that particular crowd. In fact, you can tell Miss Dean that my business is progressing very well, and when I need her kind help again, I shall have no hesitation in calling her to my assistance. Now, is that all?
Yes, that's all.
You're sure, while you're about it, that there's nothing else you want to get off your chest?
No.
You don't sound very sure about it. You've been trying to tell me all this for some time now, I dare say.
No, not very long.
Willis, why did you come round to my house in Great Ormond Street the other night?
How did you know about that?
I didn't know, I guessed. As I said before, you would not make a very good detective, I'm afraid. You lost this pencil on that occasion, I believe.
A pencil? No, not that I know of. Where did you find that?
In Great Ormond Street.
Well, I don't think it's mine. I don't know. I think I've still got mine. Yes, here it is.
Oh, never mind. You came round that night intending to apologize, maybe?
No, I didn't. I came round to have an explanation with you. I wanted to bash your face in, if you must know. I went round there just before 10.
Did you ring the bell of my flat?
No, I didn't. No, I'll tell you why. I looked in your letterbox and I saw a letter there from Miss Dean and, well, I didn't care to go upstairs. I was afraid I might let myself go. I felt like murdering you. So, I went off and I wandered about until I was too done up to think.
I see. You didn't make any attempt to get hold of me at all?
No.
Oh, that's that. No, it's quite all right, doesn't matter. I was only a little bit puzzled about the pencil, that's all.
The pencil?
Yes, I found it on the top landing, you see, just outside my door. I couldn't quite understand how it got there, that's all.
Oh, well, it wasn't me. I didn't go upstairs.
How long did you stay in the house?
Only a few minutes.
In the front hall, downstairs, all the time?
Yes.
Well, then, it can't have been your pencil. Very odd, because these pencils aren't on the market, as you know.
Well, perhaps you dropped it yourself.
Perhaps I did. That seems the likeliest explanation, doesn't it? It's not of any importance.
What did you want to ask my advice about, Breeden?
About the old subject. Perhaps now that we've had this little explanation, you may find it easier to tell me what I want to know about Victor Dean. From his sister, I gather that he became infatuated with Diane de Montgomery. Diane de Montgomery finally shut down on him and sent him off home. That's true as far as it goes, I imagine.
Except I don't believe Victor Dean was ever infatuated with the de Montgomery woman.
Mm-hmm.
I think he was flattered, and I think that he thought he could make something out of her. As a matter of fact, he was a mean little beast.
Did she give him money?
Yes, she did. But he didn't get much out of that, because he found that crowd so expensive to run with. He wasn't naturally one of that sort. He didn't enjoy gambling, though he had to do it to keep in with them. And he wasn't a drinker. In some ways, I'd have liked him better if he had been. He wouldn't dope, either. I expect that's why Miss de Montgomery got tired of him.
Well, he must have had a pretty good reason for going round with the de Montgomery lot. As you say, they're expensive.
Yes. He must have seen something remunerative in the distance.
Exactly. Well, that's all rather by the way. What I wanted to know from you was this. Supposing he found out that somebody, say somebody in this office, as it might be yourself, had a skeleton in the closet, to use the pretty old metaphor. Was Victor Dean the kind of fellow to, dispose of that skeleton to the anatomist?
Blackmail, you mean?
Well, that's a strong word, but, call it that.
I don't quite know. But I can only say that the question gives me no shock. Mind you, I haven't the least reason to suppose that he ever did anything of the kind, and he certainly never seemed to be particularly flush of cash. Not that that's much to go by with a careful fellow like him. Unlike Tallboy, he wouldn't have let wads of banknotes come tumbling out of his desk.
You think the tumbling about of notes affords a presumption of innocence?
Oh, no, not a bit. Only of carelessness. And Dean certainly wasn't careless.
Well, thanks for speaking so frankly, Willis.
Oh, that's all right. Only, for goodness sake, don't let Pamela know what I've been saying about Victor. I've had enough trouble about that already.
Mum's the word, old chap. Well, must toddle off back to my own room now. Down here. Hello, tall boy.
Oh, hello, Breeden.
I say, you're looking a bit overdone.
I feel it. I was up all night. My wife... Well, the fact is my wife had a baby last night. That's really partly why... Oh, hell, what does it matter anyway?
Oh, I quite understand. Very wearing business. Why didn't you take the day off?
Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. It's a busy day. Much better to occupy one's mind.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Tomkin, what do you want?
Any letters to go, sir?
Oh, no, thanks. Oh, yes, stop a minute. Yes, I've got one here. I've just got to address it. Lend me a pen one moment, Breeden.
Yes.
Thanks. Breeden, do you mind not reading over my shoulder?
Oh, I beg your pardon. I'm so sorry. I was snooping. Beastly habit. One catches it in the typist's room, don't you know?
Yes, that's all right. It's only a note to my stockbroker.
A lucky man to have any stock to broke.
Here you are, Tomkin.
Very good, Mr. Tallboy.
And so ends an exhausting day, eh?
Well, all I can say is that you ought to watch your step, Peter. Paying social calls on Diane de Montmorency is one thing, but getting entangled with Milligan and his crowd's quite another.
Why do you say that?
Well, they're a dangerous lot. They're not going to be too pleased if they discover you snooping around.
That is exactly it, Charles. You see, I've primed them to believe that Breeden is a crook of the first order. A crook, moreover, who's got some involvement with the drug smugglers.
I don't really think Milligan's going to fall for all that. You mean he believed you when you warned him against your cousin, Breeden?
I rather think so, yes.
Well, I don't think you can be so sure.
Oh, but I do.
Why?
Because I've just received an invitation to call on Major Todd Milligan this very evening.
Good heavens.
Or rather, I should say, Breeden has received the invitation.
Well, I can only repeat it, Peter. For heaven's sake, be careful.
Since my virtuous cousin Wimsey has let the cat out of the bag, I may as well take off the old harlequin mask, what? I'm afraid, Mr. Montmorency, my appearance will disappoint you. Except that I am handsomer and less rabbity-looking. The woman who has seen Wimsey has seen me. It's a handicap to carry, but I can't help it. The resemblance, I'm happy to say, is only skin deep.
It's almost incredible.
Isn't it?
Let me see you properly, Breeden.
You needn't come too close, Milligan. Even a face like Wimsey's is better than yours. Yours is spotty. You eat and drink too much. I take it that you want to get something out of me. People of your sort always do. What is it?
Well, I've no objection to being frank with you.
How nice to hear anybody say that. It always prepares one for a lie to follow. Forewarned is forearmed, ain't it?
If you choose to think so. But I think you'll find it to your advantage to listen.
Financial advantage?
What other kind is there?
What indeed? I'm beginning to like your face a trifle better.
Oh, are you? Perhaps you like it well enough to answer a few questions.
Possibly.
We met your cousin at the Duchess of Denver's place. He said you were a dope runner.
Where my cousin Wimsey gets his information from, I'm damned if I know. Sometimes he's correct.
So why not come to the point?
As you say, why not? Is that the particular facet of my brilliant personality that interests you, Milligan?
Is that the particular facet of Victor Dean's personality that interests you?
1 point to me. Till this moment, I was not sure that it was a facet of his personality. Now I do. Dear me, how interesting it all is, to be sure.
If you can find out exactly how Victor Dean was involved in that show, it might be worth something to you. And to me.
Say on.
Did you learn from Pamela Dean what her brother's job was?
Yes, of course. He wrote advertising copy at a place called Pym's. There's no secret about that.
That's just what there is. And if that infernal young fool hadn't gone and got killed, we might have found out what it was and done ourselves a lot of good. As it is, I don't believe you know even as much as I do about the fella.
I don't. I never met him in my life. But I know a good deal about Pym's Publicity Limited.
How?
I work there.
Since when?
Since Dean's death.
Because of Dean's death, do you mean?
Yes.
How did you get onto it?
I received information, as my dear cousin Wimsey's police pals would say, that Dean was onto something fishy about Pym's. So, since most fish have gold in their mouths, like St. Peter's, I thought it wouldn't do any harm to try a cast or two over that particular pool.
What did you find?
My dear Milligan, you would make a cat laugh. I don't give away information. I dispose of it advantageously.
So do I.
As you like. You invited me here tonight. I wasn't looking for you. But there's one thing I don't mind telling you, because I've already told Mr. Momery, and that is that Victor Dean was bumped off deliberately to prevent him from talking. So far, the only person I can discover who wanted him out of the way was yourself. The police might be interested to know that fact.
The police?
Oh, I quite agree. I don't like the police. They pay very badly, and they ask a hell of a lot of questions, but it might be useful to get on the right side of them for once.
Oh, that's all punk. You're barking up the wrong tree. I didn't kill the fella. I didn't want him killed.
Prove that.
Look, what do you want to know?
I want to know what you think Dean was in a position to find out.
Oh, I can tell you that. He'd found out who was running the show from Pym's end.
The dope show?
Yes. And he may have found out, too, the way it's run.
It's still being worked the same way, then?
So far as I know.
So far as you know? You don't seem to know very much.
Well, how do I know I can trust you, then?
Perhaps you'd like me to supply you.
Huh?
As a sample, you may be interested in the collar of my coat. It's remarkably handsome, is it not? A rich velvet. A little ostentatious, you may think. A little overmuch buckram. Yeah, possibly you're right. It's very well made. The opening is almost invisible. So, we delicately insert the forefinger and thumb, pull the tab gently, and produce this dainty bag of oiled silk, fine as an onion skin, but remarkably tough. Within it you will discover sufficient inspiration for quite a number of enthusiasts. A magician's cloak, such stuff as dreams are made on.
Yes, all right so far.
Where did you get it from?
What day did you get it?
Friday morning. Like yourself, I get it on Fridays.
Look here, Breeden. You and I have to be together on this. And Diane, my child, run away and play. I'm going to talk business with your friend.
Well, that's a fine way to treat me in my own house.
Move.
All right, I'm going.
I'm going to tell you what I know, Breeden. If you double-cross me, it's at your own risk. I don't want any funny business with that damned cousin of yours. You've been warned, huh? Now see here. If we can find out who works this thing and how it's worked, we can get in at the top. It's the man in the center of the ring that makes the big profits.
Exactly, Milligan. But what is it you know?
That the distribution of the dope is all worked from that advertising place of yours. Pym's Pub
has uncovered a link between the death of Victor Dean, a copywriter with Pym's Publicity, and Major Todd Milligan, an unsavory member of London's smart set. Wimsey suspects that Milligan's house is being used for the distribution of illegal drugs. Pretending to be Mr. Breeden, an unscrupulous copywriter from the same office as the late Victor Dean, Wimsey succeeds in gaining the confidence of Todd Milligan.
All right, Breeden. Here's what I know. The distribution of the dope is all worked from that advertising place of yours. Pym's Publicity.
How fascinating, Milligan. And how do you know?
I found it out from a man who's dead now. I was dining with him one night at the Carlton. He was a bit lit up. A chap came in with a party, and this man said to me, "Know who that is?" "Not from Adam," I said. "Well, it's old Pym," he said, "the publicity agent." And then he laughed and said, "If he only knew what his precious agency was doing, he'd have a fit." "Well, how's that?" I said. "Why," I said, "didn't you know all this dope traffic is worked from there?" Naturally, I started to ask him how he knew and all about it. But he suddenly got an attack of caution, and I couldn't get another word out of him. And the next evening, he was run over by a lorry and killed.
How remarkably well timed.
Yeah, I thought so myself. Made me rather nervous.
But how does Victor Dean come into it?
There I dropped a bad brick. Diane brought him along one evening, and when Diane introduced Dean and said he worked at Pym's, I thought he must be the man. But apparently he wasn't. But I'm afraid he got an idea about the thing from me. And after a bit I found out he was trying to horn in on my show, and I told Diane to shut down on him.
And shortly after that, he fell down a staircase.
Yes. But I didn't push him down. You needn't think that. I didn't want him snuffed out. I only wanted him kept out of the way. Dean was too much of a chatterer.
So, what you want, I take it, is the way the trick's worked and the name of the man who works it. Well, I dare say I can find that out for you. How about terms?
Well, my idea is that we use the information to get into the inside ring ourselves and each strike our own bargain.
Just so. Well, it's been a jolly useful little talk. I'll be in touch with you, Milligan.
Mm-hmm.
Goodbye.
A slippery customer, that one.
Have you fixed things up with him, Todd?
Yes. He's a twister, Diane, but I'll make him see it'll pay him to be straight with me.
You had much better leave him alone.
Oh, you're talking rubbish.
I warned you. Not that I care a damn what happens to you. You're getting on my nerves, Todd. It's going to be great fun to see you come to smash. But you'd better keep off that man.
Thinking of selling me, are you?
Why do you have to be so vulgar, Todd?
Oh, what's the matter with you, then?
I'm frightened, that's all. It's unlike me, isn't it?
Frightened? Of that advertising crook?
Really, Todd, you're a fool sometimes. You can't see a thing when it's under your nose. It's written too big for you to see, I suppose.
You're drunk. Just because you haven't managed to get off with this joker of yours...
Shut up! Get off with him. I'd as soon get off with a public hangman.
I dare say you would. Any new sensation would do for you. Well, what do you want, Diane? A row? Because if so, I'm afraid I can't be bothered to oblige you.
No. I'm through with you, that's all. I'm cold. I'm going to bed. Todd?
What?
Did you kill Victor Dean?
I did not.
A meal begun with Blagg's tomato softens every husband's hearto. Yes, that's not bad. Hubbies hold those wives most dear who offer them Blagg's turtle clear. Yeah, even better. Fit for an alderman, serve it up quick. Rumtity, rumtity, Blagg's turtle thick. Hello, tall boy, what can I do for you? Don't tell me New Tracks has developed any more innuendos.
What? Oh, no. No. Do you play cricket, Breeden?
Well, I used to play for Ox. I played a good deal of country house cricket in the old days, don't you know? But I am rapidly qualifying to be called a veteran. Why?
I've got to scrape up an 11 for a match against Brotherhoods. We play them every year. They always beat us, of course, because they've got their own playing fields and play together regularly. But Pym likes it to be done. He thinks it fosters fellow feeling between client and agent and all that sort of thing.
Yeah, when does he come off?
Saturday fortnight.
Well, I dare say I might be able to keep my end up for a bit if you can't get anybody better.
You anything of a bowler?
No, nothing, I'm afraid.
Better with the willow than the leather, eh?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
Right. You wouldn't care to open the batting with Ingleby, would you?
Well, I'd rather not. Put me down somewhere near the tail.
Just as you like.
Who captains this 11?
Well, I do as a rule. At least we always ask Hankin or Pym, just out of compliment, but they generally decline with thanks. Well, righto. I'll just buzz round and see that the others are okay. Mr. Garrett, you wouldn't be interested in
If
playing...
it's the cricket match, tall boy.
Well, yes, it is, as a matter of fact.
Why wasn't I selected from the very start?
Well, you were. That is, you would have been, but, well, you know, Breeden being new and...
What you mean is somebody's scratched and now you need me.
Well, yes, somebody did drop out.
Look, if you had come to me in the first instance, tall boy, and put the matter to me in a friendly way, I should say nothing about it. I like Mr. Breeden, and I appreciate that he's had advantages that I haven't had. He's a very gentlemanly fellow, and I should be very happy to make way for him. But to drop me just like that and then come running... I do not care for having things done behind my back in a hole and corner fashion.
Come, Garrett, you're not Jack Hobbs, you know. Of course, I don't know about you, but I've always been accustomed to have these things settled by whoever was appointed to select the team, and to play or not, according as I was put down.
Oh, yes, well, you would say that. I'm quite aware, Torbo, that I never was at a public school, but that is no reason why I shouldn't be treated with ordinary common courtesy. And from those who have been to real public schools, I get it what's more. You may think a lot of Dumbleton, but it isn't what I would call a public school.
And what would you call a public school, Garrett?
Eton and Harrow. And, Rugby and Winchester and places like those. Places where they send gentlemen's sons to.
Oh, do they?
Excuse me.
I suppose you're sending your sons to Eton, then, eh, Garrett?
You cad! You unspeakable swine! Get out of here or I'll kill you!
What the devil's the matter with you?
Get out!
Mr. Tallboy, if I could have a word with you for a moment. Mr. Tallboy, what possessed you to say that to Mr. Garrett?
What do you mean, Mr. Hankin? I really think it's none of your business.
Didn't you know that Mr. Garrett has only got one boy?
Well?
He's feeble-minded.
No, I didn't know. How should I be expected to know anything about Garrett's family? Oh, good God, I'm damn sorry and all that, but why must the fellow be such an ass? He's got a mania about public schools. Eton, indeed. I don't wonder the boy's feeble-minded if he takes after his father.
What incredible luck you do have, Peter.
Not so much luck, Charles. Good guidance, that's all. Anyway, I sent the fair Diane an anonymous letter, solemnly warning her against Cousin Breeden, and informing her that if she wants to know the worst about me, she had only to inquire at my brother-in-law's address. You know, it's a curious thing, Charles, but people cannot resist anonymous letters. It's like free sample offers. They appeal to all one's lower instincts.
You're a devil. One of these days you'll get into trouble. Suppose Milligan had recognized you.
I prepared his mind to accept a striking resemblance.
I wonder he didn't see through it. Family resemblances don't usually extend to details of teeth and so on.
I never let him get close enough to study details.
Well, that ought to have made him suspicious.
No, because I was rude to him about it. He believed me all the time simply because I was rude. Everyone suspects an eager desire to curry favor, but rudeness, for some reason, is always accepted as a guarantee of good faith. The only man who ever managed to see through rudeness was St. Augustine, and I don't suppose Milligan reads the Confessions. Besides, he wanted to believe me. He's greedy.
Well, no doubt you know your own business. But about this Victor Dean affair, do you really believe that the head of this particular dope gang is on Pym's staff? It sounds quite incredible.
Which is an excellent reason for believing it. I don't mean that in a credo quia impossibile sense, but merely because the staff of a respectable advertising agency would be such an excellent hiding place for a big crook. The particular crookedness of advertising is so very far removed from the crookedness of dope trafficking.
Why? As far as I can make out, all advertisers are dope merchants.
So they are. Yes, now I come to think of it, there is a subtle symmetry about the thing which is extremely artistic. All the same, Charles, I must admit that I find it difficult to go the whole way with Milligan. I have carefully reviewed the staff of Pym's, and I have so far failed to find anyone who looks in the least like a Napoleon of crime.
But you seem convinced that the murder of Victor Dean was an inside job. Or do you now think that some stranger was hiding on the roof and did away with Dean because he was on the point of splitting on the gang? I suppose an outsider could get access to Pym's roof.
Oh, easily, but that wouldn't explain the catapult wiped clean of fingerprints.
Nor the attack on me.
Not if the same person that killed Dean attacked you, too.
Meaning that it might have been Willis. I take it that Willis is not the Napoleon of crime anyhow.
Willis ain't a Napoleon of anything. Nor, I fancy, is the chap with the catapult. If he had been, he'd have had the common sense to use his own catapult and destroy it afterwards. As I see him, Charles, he is a person of considerable ingenuity but limited foresight. A person who snatches at the first thing that is offered him and does his best with it, but lacks just that little extra bit of consideration that would make the thing a real success. He lives from hand to mouth, as you might say. I dare say I could spot him without much difficulty, but that's not what you want, of course, is it? You'd rather have the Napoleon of the dope traffic, wouldn't you? If he exists, that is.
Exactly. Oh, by the way, we've had one lead. Could be interesting. Chap by the name of Hector Punchin.
What an odd name.
The whole business is darned odd. This chap Punchin, who's a reporter with the Morning Gazette, goes into a Covent Garden pub called the White Swan. There he chances upon an extremely drunk gentleman in dress clothes who proceeds to barge into him, cling onto him for support, and generally paw him pretty thoroughly all over.
Unpleasant.
Well, young Puncheon didn't think much about it until he got home and found a packet of white powder in his pocket. He assumed it was bicarb of soda or something. Well, of course, it wasn't.
And he thinks the drunken gentleman in dress clothes popped it into his pocket?
Exactly. Now, either it was just a drunken mistake by some dope maniac,
or else Puncheon accidentally stumbled on a whole distribution system.
Possibly.
Ah.
The thing is, what are we to do? We could raid the pub, of course, but I don't think that would be advisable. We probably shouldn't find anything, and we should merely give the alarm to no purpose. We want the top people. Well, take even this man Milligan, who's a pest to the first water. Suppose we punish him here and now. They'd only start again with a new distributor and a new house for him to run his show in, and what would anybody gain by that?
Exactly. But how much better off will you be if you catch the man above Milligan? The same thing will apply.
I don't know, Peter. Well, it's no good worrying about it. My job's to catch the heads of the gangs if I can, and after that, as many as possible of the little people. I can't overthrow cities and burn the population.
'Tis the last judgment's fire must cure this place. Calcine its clods and set its prisoners free.
At the present moment, Peter, I must say you're not being very helpful. You've been investigating a crime, if it is a crime, for some weeks now, and the only tangible result is a broken collarbone for me.
Excuse me, Inspector.
What is it, Constable?
There's a Mr. Puncheon on the phone for you, sir. Says he needs to speak to you urgent, sir.
Oh, put him on. Hello? Chief Inspector Parker. Yes? What? Oh, where? Right. Where are you now? A cafe. Where? Yeah. Right, I've got that. I'll have 2 men go straight there. Oh, now listen, Puncheon. If your suspect leaves the cafe before my men get there, keep on his tail and phone the cafe with your whereabouts as soon as you can. Right? Good man. That was Puncheon.
So I gathered.
Thinks he spotted the man who slipped him the dope. Saw him outside the Morning Gazette offices this morning buying an early paper or something. Been chasing him ever since, apparently. He couldn't get to a phone before. Must push off. Cheerio, Peter.
Bang her. Oh, Charles?
Yes?
And you said I had incredible luck?
Well, according to the note, Sergeant, Puncheon's had his breakfast in this caff, and he's off again. Says he'll phone us here as soon as he gets a chance. He thinks the man knows he's being followed.
There, that's an amateur all over. Of course he lets the bloke know he's being followed. If one of those newspaper fellas was a blue bottle and had to follow an elephant, he'd get buzzing in the elephant's ears so he know what he was up to.
That's very good, Sarge.
Sergeant, lumley to you, Constable. 10 to 1 Puncheon will lose him for keeps now. Getting us pushed off here without our breakfasts.
Well, there ain't no reason why we shouldn't have our breakfasts, seeing as we are here.
Oh, I don't mind if I do. If only we're allowed to eat our kippers in peace. But you mark my words, you'll start ringing up again before we has time to swallow a bite. Parker says that if Puncheon rings up from somewhere else, we better take a taxi. Oh, and my kippers? Top. Save time, he says. How's he think we're going to pick up a taxi here? Nothing but blinking trams.
Oh, order the taxi now, so's to be in readiness, like.
What? And have it ticking up the threepences for nothing? Think they'll call that legitimate expenses? Not half. You pay that out of your own pocket, my man. That's what they'll say, the lousy skinflints.
Well, have your grub.
I hope it's a good kipper, that's all. Looks oily, it do. Hope it's cooked. Eat a kipper what ain't properly cooked through and you get kipper on your breath for the rest of the day. Ow. Beats me why God Almighty wanted to put such a lot of bones into them things.
You didn't ought to question the ways of God Almighty.
You keep a civil tongue in your head, my lad, and don't go forgetting what's due to my position.
Well, there ain't no position in the eyes of the Almighty. If it pleases him to make you a sergeant, that's one thing. But it won't do you no good when you comes before him to answer to the charge of questioning his ways with kippers. Come to think of it, in his sight, you and me is just the same as worms, with no bones at all.
You ought to know better than to talk about worms when a man's eating his breakfast. It's enough to take anyone's appetite away. And let me tell you, Constable, worms or no worms, if I have any more lip from you... Oh, drat that telephone. What did I tell you? Hello? Yes? Where? You sure? Right, we're on our way. Right, Constable, let's go.
Right, Sergeant.
Reckon he's heading for South Kensington Tube Station. stand aside now, please. Officers of the law. Where's a doctor? Eagle, send for a doctor, quick, and ring Parker.
Right, Sarge.
You, tell the station master to turn off the electricity. Hurry up. This one's going to be all right. Oh, I reckon the other one's done for, though.
He's coming round.
How are you feeling now, sir?
Bloody. What happened?
Why, sir, a poor gentleman fell off the platform and took you with him.
Oh, yes, of course. Is he all right?
Afraid not, sir. Here, take a pull of this, sir. Brandy. Gently now. Easy. That's it.
That's better. All right, don't fuss.
Come on now, stand back there, right back.
Limbs all correct. Head apparently sound, though it aches like hell. Ribs? Not so sure about those. Something gone there, I'm afraid. Pelvis intact, thank goodness.
The doctor will be here in a minute, sir.
Doctor be damned. I'm a doctor myself. Spine's all right. I don't think anything's broken to speak of.
Oh, very glad to hear that, sir.
It's the footboard of the train that got me, I fancy. I remember being rolled round and round like a pat of butter between two what's-its-names. And I saw the wheels of the train get slower and slower and stop, and I said to myself, this is it. You're for it, my lad. Time stopped. And this is eternity. But I see I was mistaken.
Happily so, sir.
Wish I'd been able to stop that other poor devil, though. Dead, is he?
Yes, sir. Very. Now, if you could just tell me, sir, exactly how all this occurred.
Damned if I know myself. All I know is I was standing just about here when the fellow passed me. I noticed he was looking rather queer. Heart subject, I should think. He suddenly stopped and then came towards me. I caught hold of his arm and then he lurched over with all his weight and dragged me over with him. And then I can't remember anything but the noise of the train and the tremendous size of the wheels and the feeling of having the breath squeezed out of me. I must have dropped him, I suppose.
Oh, no wonder. Now, if I could just have some details, sir. Your name?
My name's Garfield. Dr. Herbert Garfield.
You all right, sir?
Yes, I'm all right. I can stand. Here's my card, if you should need to contact me.
Oh, very well, sir, if you feel certain.
Yes, thank you. I do.
All right, stand back there now.
Inspector Parker's on his way, Sarge.
Yes, but where on earth is Punchin?
How's Punchin, by the way, Charles?
Still unconscious. Got slugged rather badly. We're obviously dealing with a gang that's totally ruthless.
Yes, I'm inclined to agree. And the drunken gentleman in the dress clothes was well and truly mangled by the train.
Not much doubt about that, I'm afraid. Punchin lost him near the station, and Lumley and Eagles arrived just after he'd fallen onto the tracks.
Fallen?
What do you mean by that?
Well, when a man you've been chasing elaborately all over London has the impudence to be killed just when you're on the point of catching him, when he turns out to have no tailor's name on his clothes and nothing to identify him by, when his face is smashed into a pulp so you cannot usefully circulate his photograph, well, it's all extraordinary bad luck, ain't it?
All we've got to go on is a laundry mark on his shirt. No doubt we shall end up by having to circularize the laundries.
This, I presume, is his top hat. Mysteriously uninjured.
Oh, it had rolled beyond the train onto the farther line.
Ah. And here again the maker's gold imprint, you see, has been removed. How absurd, Charles. I mean, one does not, well, at least you and I and this gentleman do not consider the brand to be the guarantee of quality. For us, the quality guarantees the brand. There are two hatters in London, Charles, who could have made this hat. You have doubtlessly already observed that the crown is markedly dolichocephalic, while the curve of the brim is also characteristic. Send one of your sleuths to each of these establishments and ask for the customer with the elongated head who has a fancy for this type of brim. Don't waste your time on laundry marks, which are at best tedious and at worst deceptive.
Thanks, Peter. I thought you might be able to put your finger either on the hatter or the tailor.
So you see, Breeden, unless we come up with a really fresh campaign to sell whifflets, their rivals are absolutely going to run away with the market.
Yes, I see that, Mr. Hankin, but what is it exactly that Puffin cigarettes are doing that's wreaking all this ghastly havoc?
They're giving away aeroplanes.
Aeroplanes?
Yes. You see, in every packet of puffins, they're enclosing a coupon bearing the name of a component part of a popular little touring plane, suitable for amateur use. When you've collected your complete set of parts, numbering 100, you send in your coupons together with a brief essay on the importance of air-mindedness for British boys. The writer of the best essay each week becomes the recipient of a private plane and a course of free instruction enabling him or her to take out an air pilot's certificate.
Good gracious me.
Well, as you've probably seen, the scheme is supported by heavy advertising. The scheme's also got the support of several notable airmen, whose faces, adorned with flying helmets, are grinning out from some newspaper every day with their considered opinions that puffins are doing valuable work in helping to establish British supremacy in the air.
And Whifflets are understandably upset, what?
I'll say they're upset.
I bet they are.
They want to know why Pibbs didn't have the idea first.
Well, what are we going to do about it,
We've got to cope. We must head them off the idea of a rival aeroplane scheme. The country isn't ready to be cluttered up with aeroplanes, and fathers and families are beginning to complain about it.
Quite right.
Even today, few fathers care about having private aeroplanes delivered to their daughters in quiet suburban areas. What we want is a new scheme, on similar lines, but with more family appeal. But it must boost Britain. We've got to have that patriotic note.
Oh, righty-ho. Well, I'll try and work something out.
Very good.
Whifflets. If you want... No, that's no good. Now, let me see. If that's what you want, you can whiffle for it. Oh, I say, that's not bad. Or perhaps, oh, yes, even better. All you want by whiffling. Yes, that might work. Breeden here.
Peter, it's Charles. Have you seen the evening paper?
No, working later, lad. Or rather, whiffling late, to be more accurate.
Milligan's dead.
What?
Yes, killed by a lorry which skidded onto the pavement.
My God, they work quickly.
Have led him to believe that a system of drug smuggling is being coordinated from an advertising agency called Pym's Publicity. One of the suspects in the case is spotted and followed, but dies under the wheels of an underground train in South Kensington Station. Lord Peter Wimsey suspects that a Dr. Garfield, who was on the scene at the time, is far from being an innocent spectator. Suddenly, all the threads of the case begin to come together.
Well, Peter, we've tracked down the poor fellow who got in the way of the train. Name of Mountjoy. Lived alone in a neat little bachelor flat. Seems to have been a gentleman of independent means, as the commissionaire put it. But who was he? What was he up to? Why did he have to be suppressed?
It's pretty clear what he was up to. He was engaged in the dope traffic, and he was suppressed because he'd been fool enough to let our reporter friend Puncheon recognize and follow him.
But where's the dope?
Oh, really, Charles? Mountjoy was going to fetch the dope. Haven't you yet grasped that he is part of the Milligan crowd, and that Friday is their day for distributing the stuff? The Milligans get it on Friday and give house parties on Friday and Saturday nights when it goes into the hands of the actual addicts. It is rather surprising, though, that Garfield and Co. left Mountjoy's flat alone. Are you quite sure there were no visitors on the day Mountjoy was killed?
Oh, yes, I checked that carefully with the servants. No one at all, apart from the post office man to bring the new telephone directories.
The what?
Telephone directories.
In the plural?
Yes, he brought 2 new volumes.
Charles, that is it.
What's what?
The fellow who brought the new volumes and took the old ones away. The man was obviously a charlatan. Since when, Charles, has the post office taken to get in both volumes of the London Directory out at once?
By Jove!
Ring up now and find out when the post office last changed the telephone directories in Mountjoy's area.
Well, Peter, the area where Mountjoy lives received their new L to Z volume a fortnight ago. The new A to K volume isn't due to be issued yet.
Then that settles it. Our friend Mountjoy kept his secrets in the telephone directories. That's why the gang wanted them to remove the evidence. Now then, where do all good telephone directories go when they die?
The pulping mills, probably.
And the last legitimate post office exchange of the L to Z volumes was made a fortnight ago. Do you know there is a chance that it hasn't been pulped yet? Get on to it, Charles, get on to it. There is also a chance that it was marked.
You may be right. It's a chance, as you say. Oh, that's about 500 telephone directories we've checked now, Peter, and there still isn't one that looks in any way of use to us.
Now, wait a moment, Charles, wait a moment. Truno, I think this is the one.
What is it?
Look, a whole list of public houses in central London have been ticked off. 3 in the middle L's, 2 near the end of the M's, 1 in the N's, 1 in the O's, and 2 in the middle of the W's. The 2 in the W's are the White Stag in Wapping and the White Stoat off Oxford Street. The next W after that, Charles, is the White Swan in Covent Garden. I would bet any money that in the new L to Z volume that was carried away by that charlatan Johnny, remember, the White Swan was duly ticked off in turn.
The White Swan in Covent Garden, where we first came across Mountjoy.
Exactly. Now, I am making rather a long cast, but I suggest this. The stuff comes up to London on a Thursday. It is taken to whichever pub stands next on the list in the directory. 1 week it will be a pub with a name in A, say Anchor. Next week it will be a B, the Bull and Dog or the Bricklayer's Arms. The week after that it will be a C, and so on to W, X, Y, Z if there are any. The people who have to call for their dope wander into the pub indicated, where it is slipped to them by the head distributor and his agents, probably quite without the knowledge of the proprietor. And since it never comes twice to the same place, your pretty policeman can go and talk to the customers in the White Swan till they are blue in the face.
Parker here? Yes? Where? Right. Don't touch anything till I get there. Peter, it's Diane de Montmoret.
What's the matter with her?
She's dead. Found with her throat cut.
Oh, dear God.
You know, what I don't understand, Miss Meatyard, is where Mr. Tallboy gets all his money. I mean, I still can't think where that £50 in the envelope came from.
Perhaps he did rather well with his stockbrokers. You know, the famous firm of Smith, and Smith Unlimited.
I don't know what the directors would think if they knew about him and his £50.
Directors are the last people to hear anything about the staff. Otherwise they wouldn't be able to stand on their hind legs at the staff dinner and shoot off speeches about cooperation and all being one happy family. Which reminds me, I wonder how much the directors know about our Mr. Breeden.
Do you mean, Miss Meatyard?
Well, you know, there are a few things about Mr. Breeden that don't add up. And what's more, I've begun to realise he bears an uncanny resemblance to someone whose photograph was all over the papers a few years back. Oh, in connection with some ghastly murder or something. Now, where's that copy of Who's Who? Oh, yes, got it.
I hardly think you're going to find Mr. Breeden in the pages of Who's Who.
I'm not so sure. Let's see, what was the name? Wimsey. Yes, W. Now listen to this. Wimsey. Peter Death Breeden. Lord, DSO, born 1890.
Good heavens.
Second son of Mortimer Gerald Breeden Wimsey, 15th Duke of Denver, and Honoria Lucasta, daughter of Francis Delgado of Bellingham Manor, Bucks. Education, Eton College and Balliol.
Oh, dear, Miss Meatyard. What are we going to do?
I think the best thing we can do is leave well alone. Let's keep this strictly to ourselves for the time being, Miss Rossiter.
Morning, Charles.
Hello, Peter. Where have you been?
I have news for thee, old Parker Bird. I have just paid a call on Tallboy's stockbroker.
What's his stockbroker to do with it?
Well, I caught the name and address on an envelope Tallboy was scribbling in the office one day. A chap by the name of Smith said he was his stockbroker. Well, I tootled along there this morning. Not a stockbroker in sight. It's the address of a grubby little tobacconist. What's more, his name ain't Smith either. It is Cummins.
Really?
Yes. But he claims he keeps getting letters addressed to Smith, which he invariably sends back.
Well, we must get on to the returned letter office immediately.
I already have been there.
Oh.
And they told me there that a letter addressed to Smith goes to Cummins' place every week, which he immediately returns. They open it at the post office, of course, but are unable to return them to the sender.
Why?
All the letters ever contain is a blank sheet of paper.
I see.
They've agreed to keep the next letter and let me have it. All the others have been destroyed.
Does this mean that Tallboy's the one we're after?
Frankly, Charles, I do not understand it. I can't see him as the big bug in all this business. If he were, his money wouldn't be coming to him in £50 instalments. But there is a connection, you know, there must be.
Possibly he's only a small item in the account.
Well, possibly. But I cannot get over something that Milligan once said to me. According to his information, the whole show is run from Pym's.
Yes, but how and why? What's advertising got to do with it? Murder doesn't want to advertise. Far from it.
I don't know, Charles. I do not know yet. But I've been working on this thing. You've got a diary, Charles?
Yes, here.
Yeah, thank you. Now then, now, you see this date?
Yes.
That is the Tuesday before the Friday on which drugs were being served out at the White Swan. Now, on that Tuesday, Tallboy passed the New Tracks headline for publication the following Friday. And what was the headline? It was, Why Blame the Woman? You will note, Charles, that it begins with a W. White Swan also begins with a W. Got that?
Yes, of course I got that, Peter, but I don't see the connection.
Now, Charles, all right. All the New Tracks advertisements are past the press on a Tuesday and appear on a Friday.
Right.
Fine. Now, perpend, Charles. Mr. Tallboy, who you may recall is group manager for the New Tracks account, has a habit of sending letters on a Tuesday addressed to a Mr. Smith, who, may I remind you, does not appear to exist. Now, the point is that Mr. Smith ain't always the same Mr. Smith. But on the day that the New Tracks headline began with a T, Mr. Smith was a Mr. T. Smith.
And what sort of Mr. Smith was he on the day that the New Tracks headline began with a W?
Unfortunately, I don't know, but I can guess that it was a Mr. W. Smith.
I think you want a little more evidence on that point. You don't seem to have any instance where you can point to the initial, the headline, and the pub all together.
That is the weak point. But now look here. This Tuesday is the date on which the great New Tracks row occurred. Mm-hmm. And the headline was altered at the last moment on Thursday night. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Now, on the Friday of that week, something went wrong with the supply of dope to Milligan. It never turned up.
Peter, I do believe you've got hold of something.
Do you, Charles? Well, so do I, but I wasn't sure if it would sound plausible to anybody but me.
But how's it worked, Peter?
Well, I don't know the details, but I imagine it's done this way. On the Tuesday, as soon as the headline's decided, Tallboy sends an envelope to the shop addressed to A. Smith or B. Smith, Esquire, according to the initial of the headline. Tallboy's so-called stockbroker looks at it, snorts, and hands it back to the postman. Then he informs the head distributing agent or agents what the code letter is. The stuff is run across on Thursday, and the agent meets it. Then he gets the London telephone directory and looks up the next pub on the list whose name begins with the letter which our stockbroker friend has told him. As soon as the pub opens on Friday morning, he's there. The retail agents, if we can call them so, have meanwhile consulted the Morning Gazette and the telephone directory. They hasten to the pub, and the packets are passed to them. Now, the ingenuity of the thing, Charles, is that the stuff is never distributed twice from the same place.
No wonder I had difficulties.
Yes, and no wonder they're prepared to go to such lengths to protect the system.
You'd better stay away from the office from now on, Peter. Remember, Diane, it's getting much too dangerous.
I'm afraid I've got to play in a cricket match tomorrow afternoon, Charles. Pym's versus Brotherhood's. One of their clients, don't you know?
Oh, cricket match be damned. I don't know, though. It's nice and public. Provided the fast bowler doesn't knock you out with a swift ball, it may be as safe as anywhere else.
Oh, well run, sir. Mr. Tallboy, why on earth did you send this man in ninth? He's a cricketer. He's the only cricketer among the whole damn lot of you.
Well, Mr. Brotherhood, he's a new member of staff, name of Breeden. He's a public school man, and he said he'd done a good deal of country house cricket, but I had no idea he could play like this.
Oh, good God, one more and Pym's will have won.
Well done. Good. Mr. Brotherhood, I've never seen anything like it.
Haven't you? Oh, well, now, I've been watching cricket, man and boy, for 60 years, and I've seen something very like it. Let me see. Before the war, that would be the Vasti match of 1911. No, 1910. Tallboy, what did you say that fellow's name was?
Breeden.
Beautifully played, sir. Beautifully
well done, Breeden. Well done. You won the game.
Wait a minute. Pardon me. The name's just come to my recollection. Aren't you Wimsey of Balliol?
What?
Didn't I see you play for Oxford 1911? Peter Wimsey of Balliol. Lord Peter Wimsey. Yes, that's it.
Wimsey? Did you say Wimsey?
Yes.
But I thought your name was Breeden.
It is, Mr. Tallboy. Breeden is my name.
Nonsense, Wimsey. I remember you distinctly.
Excuse me, would you? Do you mind? I must dash. Good evening, Mr. Tallboy. I think you'd better come in. You're looking rather rotten.
Thank you.
Perhaps you'd like a spot of something. Sit down, my lad. Sit down. There. Drink that. Better?
Yes. I'm sorry to have made a fool of myself, Breeden. Lord Peter, I came to you...
You came to me to find out how much I knew?
Yes. No. I came because I couldn't stick it out any longer. I came to tell you all about it.
Well, now, wait a minute. There's something that I must tell you first. It's all out of my hands now, you understand. As a matter of fact, I don't think there's very much you can tell me. The game's up, old man. I'm sorry, I really am sorry, because I think you've been having a perfectly bloody time. But there it is. Have another drink.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I'm rather glad in a way. Oh, thank you. If it wasn't for my wife and the kid... Oh, God, I've been a bloody fool.
Most of us are at one time or another. I'm damn sorry, old chap.
I'd like to tell you... I realize that it's all up now, but I think you might understand. I say, what put you under this?
That letter of Victor Dean's. Do you remember it? The one he threatened to write to Pym. He showed it to you, I fancy.
The little swine. Yes, he did. Didn't he destroy it?
No, he didn't.
I see. It all started about 2 years ago. I was rather hard up and I wanted to get married. I'd been losing money on horses as well, and things were not too good. I met a man in a restaurant. I happened to mention where I was working. He seemed to be thinking a bit after that. And then he asked a good many questions about how advertisements were put together and sent to the papers and so on, and whether I was in a position to know beforehand what the headlines were going to be. So I said, of course, there were some accounts that I knew all about, such as new tracks. Then he suddenly asked me if I could do with an extra 1,000 a year, and I said, couldn't I? Lead me to it. He said, if I would let him know every Tuesday the initial letter of the new track's headline for the following Friday, I should be well paid for it. So I said I'd do it, and we fixed up a code.
Yes, I know all about that. It was very ingenious and simple. Letters to Smith. Didn't this man give you any reasons for his rather remarkable request?
He said he was fond of having a bit of a bet with some friends of his about one thing and another, and his idea was to bet on the initial letter of each week's headline.
Ah, I see. He would be betting on a certainty as often as he liked. Yeah, plausible. Not criminal, but just dirty enough to explain the insistence on secrecy.
Well, I fell for it. I was damned hard up, so I buzzed off the first 2 code letters, and at the end of the fortnight I got my £50. I was heavily in debt, and I used it. After that, well, I hadn't the courage to chuck it.
No, it'd be rather hard, I should think.
Hard? You don't know, Breeden. Wimsey, I'm sorry. You don't know what it means to be stuck for money. So, I went on. And then somehow that little devil Dean got hold of it. He started to put the screw on. First of all, he wanted to go 50-50, and then he demanded more. My wife was having a baby. I needed the money. And then, one day I felt I couldn't stand it any longer. I told Dean I was chucking the whole show, and he could do as he damn well pleased. And then he informed me that he was going to get his shot in first, and showed me the letter he was sending to Pym. That finished me, and I begged him to hold off for a week or two while I thought things over. What happened about that letter exactly?
His sister found it amongst his things and sent it on to Pym, and he engaged me through a friend to inquire into it.
Ah.
Perhaps I had better tell you the next bit. You thought it over and decided that Victor Dean was a wart and a scab, and would be no great loss to the world. Now, one day you heard that Ginger Joe had had his catapult confiscated. You realized how easily a man could be plugged through the skylight as he went down the iron staircase. If the blow didn't kill him, then the fall might, and it would be, well worth trying.
You really do know all about it, then?
I'm afraid so. Well, then the day came for putting Dean away. A nice, bright day when all the skylights were open. Then you went up onto the roof with the catapult. Oh, yes, and the scarab. It was a very good idea to use the scarab, because if anybody found it, they would naturally think it had tumbled out of his pocket as he fell.
I'd seen the scarab on Dean's desk after lunch. I knew he often kept it there. I rang up Dean on my telephone and said I was speaking for Mr. Hankin from the big conference room, and would Mr. Dean please come down about the Crunchlets copy and bring the Times Atlas with him from my room. While he went for it, I pinched the scarab and slipped up onto the roof. I was pretty sure he'd go by the iron staircase, because that was the nearest way from my room to the conference room. Anyway, he came along all right, and I shot at him through the skylight when he was about 4 steps down the staircase. I stayed up on the roof till the fuss was over, and then came down quietly by the stairs. I didn't meet a soul, of course. They were all holding post-mortems and hanging round the corpse. When I knew I'd succeeded, I didn't care. I was glad. And I tell you this, if I hadn't been found out, I shouldn't care now.
I can sympathize with that.
They asked me for a shilling for the little beast's wreath. I'd gladly have given him 20 shillings or 20 pounds even. And then you came along. I didn't suspect anything till you started to talk about catapults. And then I got badly frightened and, well, I'm afraid I tried to do away with you.
Yes, well, we'll draw a veil over that. You must have got a bit of a shock when you found you had slugged the wrong man.
Yes, I did.
Well, I suppose that was when you shone a torch or struck a light or something and saw Pamela Dean's letter.
Yes, I knew her writing. I'd seen it in Dean's room, and I knew her writing paper, too.
Ah.
Willis had told me that you and Pamela Dean were thick as thieves. I thought the letter might be telling you all about Dean and me. I didn't know quite what I thought, to tell you the truth. Then, when I found out my mistake, I got frightened and thought I'd better not try again.
I was expecting you. When nothing came of it, I began to think it hadn't been you at all, but somebody else.
Did you know by then that the other thing was me?
I didn't know it was you. You were one of several possibilities. But after the new tracks row and the £50 in notes...
You know, I was horribly careless and incompetent all through. Those letters, I ought never to have sent them from the office.
No, you oughtn't. And the catapult. You should have taken the trouble to make your own, you know. A catapult without fingerprints is something very unusual.
Ah, so that was it. I'm afraid I've made an awful mess of everything. I couldn't even do a simple murder. Wimsey, how much longer is it going to hang on? I've been in torment. I've been trying to give myself up, but my wife... Why haven't I been arrested before this?
They've been waiting. You see, tall boy, you aren't really as important as this dope gang. Once you were arrested, they would stop their little game, and we didn't want them to stop. I'm afraid you're the tethered kid, old lad, left there to trap the tigers.
When? When?
Tonight.
Wimsey, you've been frightfully decent to me. Tell me, is there any way out? It isn't myself exactly, but my wife and the kids. Pointed at all their lives. It's damnable. You couldn't give me 24 hours.
You wouldn't pass the ports.
If I were alone, I'd give myself up. I would, honestly.
There is an alternative.
I know. I've thought about that. I suppose that's the public school way out of it. Yes, all right. They'll hardly make a headline of it, though, will they? Suicide of old Dumbletonian wouldn't have much news value. Never mind, damn it. We'll show 'em that Dumbleton can achieve the Eton touch. Why not?
Good man. Have another drink. I think there is one other way out.
What?
It won't help you, but it may make all the difference to your wife and family.
How?
They need never know anything about all this. Nothing. Nobody need ever know anything. If you do as I tell you.
My God, Wimsey, what do you mean? Tell me quickly, I'll do anything.
It won't save you.
Well, that doesn't matter, tell me.
If you go to the window you will observe a man waiting outside in the shadows.
Yes?
He must have followed you here. You'll have had his instructions. Go home now. Go on foot. Not too fast. And don't look behind you.
I understand. Very well.
Quickly then.
Good night. And good luck.
Thank you, tall boy. Good night. Hello?
Peter? Bagged the whole crew. We let the other stuff go up to town. What do you think it went as? Traveller's samples. One of those closed cars with blinds all round.
That's where they made it into packets, then?
Yes. We watched our man into the Stag. Then we pulled in the motorboat and the car. Then we kept our eye on the pub and let the birds hop out into our arms one after another. It went off beautifully. No hitch at all.
Oh, good.
Oh, and by the way, their code word. We ought to have thought of that. It was just anything to do with new tracks. Some of them had the Morning Gazette showing the ad, and some of them just mentioned new tracks for nerves. One chap had a bottle of the stuff in his pocket. Another had it written on a shopping list, and so on.
Well, that explains Hector Punchin.
Oh, Hector, the newspaper fellow. Yes, he must have had his copy of the Morning Gazette with him. Oh, we've got the mythical Mr. Smith, too, of course. He turns out to be the actual top dog of the whole show. And as soon as we collared him, he coughed up the whole story. Mangy little blighter. Oh, that doctor fellow who shoved Mountjoy under the train is in it, too. We've got definite information about him.
Lovely. Simply lovely.
What's the matter? You sound a bit peeved. Hang on a minute until I've cleared up here, and we'll go somewhere to celebrate.
Not tonight, Charles, if you don't mind. I don't feel quite like celebrating tonight, I'm afraid.
Will you have a cup of coffee, Mr. Breeden? I mean, Lord Peter.
Oh, yes, rather. Thank you, Miss Rossiter.
By the way, you heard about poor Mr. Tallboy?
Yes, poor chap.
Knocked down and killed on his way home.
Yes, we were all shocked, weren't we, Miss Meatyard? And poor Mrs. Tallboy with a small baby. It does seem awful.
Yes, I know.
Oh, that reminds me, while you're here, could I have your contribution for the wreath? At least, I suppose you'll be leaving Pym's now, but I thought you might like to contribute.
Yes, of course. Here you are.
Thank you. Oh, and there's also Mr. Willis's wedding present. You know he's getting married.
No, I didn't. Everything seems to happen while I'm away. Who's he marrying?
Pamela Dean.
Oh, good work. How much for Willis, Miss Rossiter?
Well, most people are giving about 2 bob.
Hanky and Garrett stumped up half a quid each.
Then I'd better make it half a quid, too.
Oh, no, you're a lamb, but it isn't fair.
It is quite fair, Miss Rossiter. There are excellent reasons why I should contribute largely to a wedding present for Mr. Willis.
Oh, thank you. Are there? I thought you and he didn't get on very well. Oh, I forgot. I am a fool. Of course. If you're Lord Peter Wimsey, you're simply frightfully rich, aren't you?
Fair to middling. It might run to a cake for tea.